That's Abraham. And then Abraham has, after some waiting, has a son named Isaac. And then Isaac, by the way, Isaac means he laughs, because Abraham and Sarah basically given up on it. And Sarah laughs, and then God said, hey, why don't you name him Isaac? Laughter. God gets the last laugh. Yeah, Isaac's there now. Isaac, so it's like, okay, God's going to bless through Abraham and his family, and now it's Isaac. And then Isaac has these two kids, Jacob and Esau. And so Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob is who we've been leaning into and looking at his story these last couple weeks. Except if you've been following along, Jacob's not exactly, he's not the hero you want to root for. I was talking to Logan about this. We're watching Rocky, and he's like, which one's the one where he like runs before the big fight? And I was like, yes, all of them. And I said, Logan, here's what you need to know about the Rocky movies. The first over half, almost 2/3 of each one is getting you to care about the guy so that you want to root for him. And then bump, montage time. So he goes up the steps, and then it's the big fight at the end. I said, but the first over half, 2/3 of the movie is all getting you to, you want to cheer for him when he gets there. That's the whole point. Except if you're reading this story, and if you've been with us the last couple chapters, Jacob's not necessarily the guy you feel like cheering for. He's born grabbing onto the heel of his brother, fighting for position to be blessed and to be the firstborn. He wants all the financial and all the blessing from his dad and from God and from whatever kind of blessing there is. And his name actually means heel grabber, which became kind of a one way of saying liar, manipulator, deceiver is a heel grabber. I mean, we would even, have you ever heard somebody say oh, you're pulling my leg? It's like whatever, there's a lack of honesty in what you're saying here or what you're doing. And that's his whole identity at this point. But he so badly wants this blessing and the stuff. He so badly wants that. He will kind of negotiate and manipulate and use opportunists with some red stew with his brother to try to get it that way. And then we talked about this last week. He knows dad loves my brother more than me and wants to bless him. And so he dresses up as a hairy hunter guy coming in to try to, and he not just try to, but tricks his dad. He lies, manipulates, tricks his dad in order to try to get that thing that he's looking for. There's a desperation to him. And where we ended last week, Esau comes home. And now Isaac, here's his situation. Isaac sends him away. Esau wants to kill him. He says, as soon as I get a chance, I'm killing you. As soon as dad passes, you're done. So dad sent him away, by the way, with nothing. He's like, yeah, bless you, but there's no camels, no nothing. He has nothing that he sent away with. His brother wants to kill him, so he's a man on the run from his own sibling. And now he's going to be forever separated from the one person that seemed to love him, and that was his mom. But that relationship's shot because he's gone now. And so he starts going on his journey. And we'll pick it up in Genesis 28. Here's what it says in verse 10. Genesis 28, verse 10. Jacob left Beersheba and set out for Haran. When he reached a certain place, what place? A certain place. When he reached a certain place, he stopped for the night because the sun had set. Did he intend to stop in this specific place? No, it's just I'm out of daylight. I need some rest. All right, so he just stops. It says, taking one of the stones there, he put it under his head and lay down to sleep. So here's my question. Where is Jacob? Where is Jacob right now? I mean, physically, he's on this journey, right? Physically, he's on this journey. You can almost kind of picture him. Need a rock. Okay. Okay. Here he is. He's on his journey. The sun's getting real low. He sees a rock that kind of catches his eye. He's like, I can't really go on. I just need to pause. But it's just, that's it. It doesn't even name where the place, it just says it's a certain place along his journey. I mean, physically, this is where he's at. And then the places he's in between, it says he left Beersheba and he's going to Haran. Interesting, if you want to know what these names mean. Beersheba means well of promise. So he's left this place of promise, and he's on his way to Haran, which means a high place. So if he's not at the high place yet, he's not at a high place, right? I don't think these names are incidental. So he's left this place of promise, and he's on the journey between the promise and the high place. And if you're curious, if you want to look up the map and look at how far it is, this journey from Beersheba to Haran, it's 500 miles. And he has no camels. So he has to walk 500 miles. I would like to say I'm sorry, but I'm not. It's like, that's too easy. It's on this 500-mile journey, and somewhere along the journey, he's tired, he's alone, he's got nothing left, and there's a rock. He says, well, at least I can use the rock as my pillow tonight. This is the best I got. And here's where he's at. And so here's the question that I'd love to ask myself and I'd love to ask you this morning. What is the certain place you are in right now? I mean, this phrase has stuck out to me all, since we first knew we were going to be studying this. And I was reading through the story, I'm like, man, what is the certain place? It's the certain place. It's just like that he was in a certain place. How would you describe the place you're in? You have a note card. Everybody got a note card when you came in? They should have been sitting on your chair. There should be pens in front of you. And here's what I want to do. I want to give you a minute to really pause. Don't just skip by this. Let the sun set low and take just like Jacob, take a moment to stop. And how would you describe the certain place you are in right now in your life? Maybe it's in this moment, maybe it's today, maybe it's this week, maybe it's this season of life. How would you describe the certain place that you are in right now? If you're looking for words, here's some words. You may want to use sentences. You may want to draw a picture. But how would you describe yourself? Would you be bitter? Use as many of these as you want. Nervous, calm, bored, confident, elated, optimistic. Are you hopeful? Are you frustrated? Are you tired? Because Jacob is. Are you unsure? Are you lost? Know that feeling? Grief-stricken? Concerned? Are you grateful? Are you weary? Are you lonely? Excited? Curious? Are you curious? Are you hurt? Paralyzed? Are you content? Are you desperate? Are you scarred? You feeling humiliated? Are you glad, sad, or mad? Confused? Peaceful? Are you ticked? I'd use a heavier word, but you say, yeah. Let me tell you what I am. Are you ashamed? Are you feeling secure? Are you numb? Resentful? Cynical? Crushed? Are you weathered? Just beat up from the journey? Or are you fine? Freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional? But man, I challenge you. Take a risk for a second and actually stop and name it. You don't need to look at anybody else's. They don't need to look at yours. Just stop and name it. What am I? Where am I? How would I describe the certain place I am at right now in my life? Maybe it's the day, the week, maybe it's the season. Where are you? If you actually pause and think about it, where are you? So let's go back to our buddy Jacob. Where's Jacob? Where did we leave him? empty. He's been desperate, definitely. Later on, Jacob would describe this place that he's in. You and I might even call it his rock bottom. He described it as his place of distress. The Hebrew word means, it conveys a sense of tightening. Even though he's in this wide open space inside, there's this pressure. The walls have caved in and closed in. There's this angst. There's this intense pressure. It's a tightening inside of his chest and in his heart. And that's how he describes this moment in his life. And you and I might say he's hit rock bottom. He's tired. He's lonely. Verse 11, it says, when he reached a certain place, he stopped for the night before the sun had set. Taking one of the stones there, he put it under his head and he lay down to sleep. He had a dream in which he saw a stairway resting on the earth, with its top reaching to heaven, and the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. Now, this is crazy. Pause for a second. He's just been walking along, right? And then he sees a rock. It's late. He stops and he just lays down. That's all he's got. He has been trying to find blessing, to get it through all different ways and control this and manipulate that and to see whatever he's had to do to try to get. But then he takes a nap, and suddenly here's a stairway, a ziggurat. By the way, it's the only time this word shows up in the Hebrew Bible, and it's from a Sumerian root word meaning ziggurat. That's what it was referring to. He sees some kind of ascending, laddery, pyramidy, ziggurat, stairway, ramp up to the heavens. So here's the question. Where did this come from? Where did it come from? I mean, here's what he realizes, is it's been here all along. He just didn't see it. He couldn't see it until he closed his eyes. And now he's able to see it. It was here all along. But here's the second way of looking at it. Where did it come from? Did any humans build that? No. This one was made by God. And for after all his trying I'm fallen and I'm in the pit and I'm doing everything I can. I'm striving. I'm grabbing by the heels. I'm manipulating that. But here, when he's no longer trying, when he's just tired and done and he's hit his rock bottom, but then his eyes are open, not these ones, but this one, to see that there is a way to heaven that no human has made. And it was there all along. Verse 13. Oh, and by the way, the blessing he was looking for, there's angels ascending and descending. They're carrying messages of good news and blessing back and forth. He just gets this amazing image of God. And then verse 13, let's keep reading. We'll finish the little section here. It says, there above it stood the Lord, and he said, hey, you want to know who I am? I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham, the God of Isaac. You want to know who I am? This is their first time meeting. And up until now, I was the God of Abraham, your grandpa, and I was the God of Isaac, your dad. That's who I am. But you know what? Now it's you and me, and I will give you. It's no longer a faith of your father or your grandfather. It's real for you. I'm meeting you right here. And your descendants, the land which you are lying on. Your descendants will be like the dust of the earth. I'm going to make you into a great nation. You will spread out to the west and to the east, to the north and to the south. And all people on earth will be blessed through you and your offspring. Sound familiar? And think about it too. Up until now, Jacob has been all about himself, but God reminds him in this moment, no, now I'm real to you. And by the way, your life is more than just getting stuff for yourself. I've got bigger plans for you. I want to bless other people through you. I've got purpose in your life beyond just being a black hole of taking. I mean, you're going to be a blessing. You've been looking for blessing, but I'm going to bless you, and you're going to bless. I'm going to bless others through you. All the peoples on the earth, I'll bless through you. I am with you. I am with you, and I will watch over you wherever you go. I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I've done what I have promised you. Verse 16, when Jacob awoke from his sleep, I love this verse. It's my favorite verse in the whole section. Surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it. Or a more accurate way of saying, God was in this place and I didn't know it. I didn't know it. I didn't see it, experience it, but God was here all along. And you can just imagine him waking up from this dream where he's just experienced. God was in this place. And I didn't know it. He's not seeing it physically anymore, like in the dream state, but he's seeing it like an awareness that right here in the middle of this, like even sitting here, and the only pillow I got is a rock. And yet God is with me. God was in this place. And I didn't know it. Verse 17, he was afraid and said, how awesome is this place? This is none other than the house of God. This is the gate of heaven. I told you I was watching Rocky with Logan. This is my boy Logan. He's such a stud. Freshman in high school. He is now the tallest one in the family. And he lets me know that every day. Hitting the weights. Started the ROTC, the junior ROTC at school. Super proud. He's like, way to go, buddy. He wasn't always this big. He's going to love me for this. There's my little Logie Bear. Love that kid. He's always been like that. Years ago, we were, when he was about this age, Steph and I took Caden and Logan to Washington, D.C., and we went and visited monuments and took a thing around. And then we went to the Air and Space Museum. And it was so fun because Steph and I had been there before. You know, we're like, yeah, there's airplanes hanging from the sky. And yet in this moment, we'll never forget this. As we're going, like pushing this giant double stroller we borrowed from a friend, because there's a lot of miles of walking. And little Logie Bear is sitting on the front, and he's just sitting here and seeing all these planes. He goes, wow, wow. Wow, like over and over, he just goes, wow. And then he said, wow. And we just he kept doing it to the point where we were cracking up. I mean, Steph and I walked in, we're like, oh yeah, that's cool. For him, it was like, wow. Wow. Jacob here is like, wow, God was in this place. I didn't know it. Which, by the way, this is why I don't like this translation, because it misses the Hebrew nuance, by the way. Because it's not that he's afraid. It's a totally different nuance of it. He's awestruck. It's actually the same root word as awesome. He's just like, wow. He was wow. He was awestruck, and he said, how awesome is this place? Same place. How awesome is this place? Surely this is the house of God. It's the gate of heaven. Like right here, I'm in God's house and I just didn't even see it. I didn't know it. Here's what I would say. You do not need to go somewhere to find God. You just need to open your eyes right here to a God that is with you and for you and ready to bless you. And no matter what place you find yourself in, that is who God is and that is where he is. He is right. You just need to open your eyes to the God that is with you, for you, ready to bless you. And all his trying to get blessing, and here God just freely offers it. There's no coercing and no manipulation and no trying and no whatever that just left him empty at the end of the day. No, now he's just experiencing the very gracious God that just blesses him. Isaac tried to control it. Jacob tried to control it. God's like, no, I just bless. Maybe a different way to say it. The certain place that you are in can become an awesome place when you realize he's with you. So you're like, yeah, rock bottom, numb, paralyzed, hurt, scarred, weathered, tired. I don't feel like this is an awesome place. But Jacob says, yeah, this is all I got right now, and it's not comfortable, but it's an awesome place because I realize he was with me. And this is a God that blesses, and he made a way. The old English playwright, I believe, John Ruskin said this, the place, observe, any place where God lets down the ladder. You don't need to build it. God lets down the ladder. And how are you to know where that will be? Or how are you to determine where it may be? But by being ready for it always. I like what Rabbi Kushner says about this. The goal of all spiritual life is to get your ego out of the way. Outwit the sucker. I love that. Outwit the sucker. Dissolve it. Shoot it. Kill it. Your ego, let go. Silence the incessant planning, organizing, running, manipulating, possessing, and processing, because these activities preclude awareness of the divine. There's another world right here within this one whenever we pay attention. Or to translate in a way that my little Logie Bear said as a baby, wow. Wow. Psalm 139. David carries the same idea. He just, where can I go and you're not there, God? If I'm in the highest heights, you're there. But if I'm in the lowest depths, you're there. So Genesis 28:18 says, early the next morning, Jacob took the stone he had placed under his head and set it up as a pillar, and he poured oil on top of it. And he called the place Bethel, which was the name of my undergrad. Means house of God. He sets it up. He's like, I want to remember this place. I'm going to set the rock up a little bit so when I come back here, I'm going to know this is where I experienced God. In this hard place, I came to know God in a whole new way. I had just heard about him before, but now he's calling me by name too. Oh, by the way, the city used to be called Luz, but it was just a certain place. Maybe a different way to say it would be this. God is here, and God lives here. Here. Whatever you wrote down on your card. That certain place. So what does this have to do with Jesus? I'm so glad you asked. Let's fast forward. Flip the page, New Testament. Gospel of John, John chapter 1. It's the beginning of Jesus' ministry, and he starts calling disciples. He'll end up calling 12 of them. Remember, Jacob would eventually become Israel, the nation of Israel. His name will be changed to Israel. The deceiver will become Israel, and he'll have 12 sons who will be 12 tribes. That's the nation. And now Jesus goes out, and he's getting 12 disciples. Hint, hint. 12 tribes, 12 disciples. Okay. God's doing a new thing. And this guy, Philip, goes up to his friend Nathaniel, and he's like, hey, I found him. I found the one. And it's Jesus of Nazareth. And Nathaniel's blown away. He's like, I'm sorry, can anything good come from Nazareth? Can anything good come from this place? Come and see, says Philip. And so in Jesus, where is it? Bookmark, a reminder not to kiss alligators. Come and see. We found him. And when Jesus saw Nathanael approaching, he said of him. Now, this is fun. He said of him. Some translations kind of make the nuance that Jesus is talking to Nathanael here, but there's a lot of possibilities. Nathanael can be talking to Jesus. Most likely, I actually think Philip is talking about Jesus. Because he said of him, here truly is an Israelite in whom there is no deceit. I don't think if Nathanael or Philip were saying here, like, I'm not the one without deceit. By the way, deceit, liar, manipulator. What did Jacob mean? That. Here is an Israelite that's not that. Nathanael asked Jesus, how do you know me? And Jesus answered, I saw you while you were still under the fig tree before Philip called you. I love this. Pause for a second. Let's go one more verse. Then Nathanael declared, whoa, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel. Why? I saw you under a tree. You're the Son of God. What happens there? What Jesus is saying, hey, I saw you when you were in that place under the tree. I heard the whole conversation. He goes right on into that intimate, quiet, crying tear, that private place. He's like, I heard all that. I saw it. I was there. You didn't see me, but I saw you. It's like, how did you know about that? How did you know about that? So he flips out. He's like, well, you must be the king of Israel. And Jesus says to him, verse 50, Jesus says to him, wait, you believe because I said that? You're going to see a whole lot greater things than that. Verse 51, he then added, very truly I tell you, you will see heaven open and the angels of God ascending and descending. Sound familiar? On the Son of Man. I was that way to God that Jacob saw all those years ago. He'd make it more explicit later on. John chapter 14, he's having a conversation with the disciples. He's like, they're like, how do we get to heaven? We don't know how to get there. We don't know the way. Jesus says, I'm the way. I'm the way. You want to know the way? I'm the way. By the way, you know what early Christians, what they were called before they were called Christians? They weren't called Christians till like later in the book of Acts. What they were first called before they were called Christians, they were called Christians because they were like Christ. They lived and loved like Jesus. And they're like, you remind us of Jesus. But before that, do you know what they were called? Followers of the way. Followers of the way. It's right there in the text. Jesus says, I am the way. And this is why Jesus, you see him over and over. It's almost amazing. He keeps saying one of the refrains that you see with Jesus when he's talking to the disciples and the crowds is you have eyes, but you don't really see. How do you have eyes, but you don't see? He goes around healing blind men to give like, this is you. I just feel like Jesus is pulling a whole John Cena thing like, how do you not see? And almost comically, Jesus goes and heals a couple blind men, but the blind men, they don't see with these eyes, but they sense Jesus coming and they're like, Jesus, you're the Son of God. You're that promised king like David that we've been waiting for. They're like, how did the blind guys know? Because they're seeing, just not with these eyes. So later on, Jacob will go back. Chapter 35, he returns to this place. This time he's got his whole family with him. He's been down the journey. He's got his kids, he's got his wives, he's got the whole entourage, he's got camels with him. And he says, Jacob said to his household and to all who are with him, get rid of the foreign gods you have with you. Get rid of anything else. Thank you. That's distracting you. Purify yourself. Put on some good clothes. Which is funny because back then he didn't have good clothes. He was just wearing what he was wearing. But he's like, man, this is such a big deal for me. Guys, I need to show you the very place. Verse 3 says, we're going to go to Bethel, to the house of God, where I will build an altar to God. I remember the rock. I remember where it's at. I remember my rock bottom place. The God who answered me in the day of my distress and who has been with me wherever I've gone. He was true to his word the whole time. This is where it became real to me. This was where it wasn't just something I heard my dad or my grandpa talk about. This is where he met me. This is when I didn't have anything left. This is when I was lonely. I was tired of running. I was abandoned by everything. I was in my worst place. I was just sitting there and I finally just crumpled and fell asleep. I was in distress. Everything felt like it was tight and crushing in on the inside. But there, my eyes were open and I found God was with me, ready to bless me, and that he made a way for me. He was in this place, but I didn't know it, but I know it now. Oh, I know it now. And when I look back on my life, he says to his family, when I look back on my life, oh man, he was good to his word. Everything he promised. So we're going to close with one more song of worship. I say, what are our takeaways? Maybe this morning, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for you that, like, I don't want to run anymore. I'm tired. I feel empty. I feel like I've got nothing left. I feel like I'm hurt. I'm scarred. I've got wounds. I've hurt people. They've hurt me. I'm tired of running. Maybe today it's just like, man, open my eyes, God. Maybe, just maybe, like my friend Brenda said yesterday, maybe today's the day where you're like, you know what? I'm ready to dedicate my life to serving you, God, and to telling the story of what you've done in my life. Maybe today's the day that you're like, you know what? Okay, I get it. You're with me. You're with me. Maybe today's the day that you see that he did make a way. And while Jacob's trying to describe it in ways that they would understand, the most vivid, very clear picture is God making a way on the cross with Jesus, who for you and for me died on a cross, took the shame, and freely paid all the penalty so he can just bless. And so you and I, eternal life, heaven, from him. Everything you're looking for, right there. My way, your way, the only way, right there. That's the first thing I'd say. For others, maybe you've been on the journey a little longer. I'd say this, or here's the question I'd ask. Have you lost your wow? It's one thing to sing, may I never lose the wonder of your presence. It's a whole nother thing. And maybe this is why Jesus says you have to, it's almost like becoming like a little child again, with fresh eyes open in awe and wonder. Man, my word for this year, I've been praying for our church family and for me personally, selfishly, God, wonder, 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 awe, reverence, wow. Have you lost your wow? Have you lost this?
Where are we? Wow! Wow! Where are you at, buddy? Wow!
Have you lost your wow? Maybe repentance for you this morning is just, God, I need to recapture that wow. Open my eyes again, God. Will you pray with me and then let's close in worship? God, for those that are ready today, Lord, I pray that right now, right here, that they would say that they're trusting you and your sacrifice for them and surrendering their life to you. God, you've been writing a story and you're with them even in this moment, God. I pray that you'd give them the courage, that you would silence any hesitation or voice of the enemy that would keep them from just trusting you with their life today. God, for those of us that sometimes take for granted what you've done, your love, your blessing, your goodness, your kindness, God, I pray that you give us that wow. Would you open our eyes? Not these physical ones, God, but would you open the eyes of our heart this morning to see you? Would you give us tender hearts, God? God, may we be able to say, surely, God, you are in this place, and I know it. I know it. I know it. You're here. We love you, Jesus. In your name we pray, amen.
Can't go back to the beginning. Can't control what tomorrow will bring. But I know here in the middle 'cause all I want is all you are. Will you meet me here again? As I walk now through the valley, let your love rise above every fear, like the sun shaping the shadow. In my weakness, your glory appears. Not enough unless you come. Will you meet me here again? 'Cause all I want is all you are. Will you meet me here again? Not enough. I'm not enough unless you come. Will you meet me here again? 'Cause all I want is all you are. Will you meet me here again? Oh, lead us, Jesus. With us, you are our hope. You are our strength. Never leave us. Never leave us. Not for a minute was I forsaken. The Lord is in this place. The Lord is in this place. Come, Holy Spirit, dry bones awaken. The Lord is in this place. Yes, the Lord is in this place. Not for a minute was I forsaken. The Lord is in this place. Yes, the Lord is in this place. Oh, come, Holy Spirit, dry bones awaken. The Lord is in this place. The Lord is in this place. May I never lose the wonder of your presence. May I always stand in awe of who you are, of who you are. Oh, the beauty and the gift of your friendship is unlike anything I've ever known. Not enough unless you come. Will you meet me here again? 'Cause all I want is all you are. Will you meet me here again?
Grace City fam, thanks so much for being with us this morning. God, we praise you. We thank you for your presence with us. Not just here and now, but always, because you promised us that. As you go, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May he shine on you and be gracious to you. May your eyes be open to the one who made a way, to the God who is with you and for you and is always ready to bless. May you be able to say, surely God's in this place. I know it. May you go in peace. Love you guys.